Oh yeah, who's running this shit? Me, huh?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what's going on?
I forgot. What do we say? Welcome
Welcome
back
back
to
to
the
Watch.
watch along. Oh, you doing it? We doing it together? We're
No, I was
here.
telling you. I thought you forgot.
We're in it already. This is a commitment. Welcome back to the Watch Alongman podcast. I am Chris. We are still doing this. Uh, Keith is not with us. That's why we're stumbling here in the intro. We don't know what to do with our hands. We also have Cody Farrell here. What's up, Farrell? Man, how you feel back in that seat?
I had to dust off the microphone. I had actually had a lot of cans surrounding the microphone, and I had to get those cleared off and undust the room,
Just a
get
complete
everything ready.
complete wasteland. I've been
Yeah,
actually. It's been months. I mean, probably a year at this point since we recorded anything at all, and I've just been sitting here this whole time.
if my memory is correct, I think the last thing we recorded was Dune.
It was Dune. I know it was Dune. That's our last episode out. So
I
whenever
don't know if
Dune
we
came out,
recorded anything after that. It
that's
just
like
didn't get released.
Christmas. That's like Christmas, I think.
I think the fans are still waiting on the Wonder Woman episode and the Mortal Kombat
Mortal
episode.
Kombat is gone. Mortal Kombat's dead. Never,
Yeah,
never
that's
happening.
impossible.
Wonder
Wonder
Woman
Woman's in the vault.
isn't Wonder Woman with Mortal Kombat? I think Wonder
Mm,
Woman is the first half and Mortal Kombat's the second half.
maybe we should
Regardless,
sell that as an NFT.
oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, the game's completely changed since we. It's crazy to think that the last time we were making this, NFTs were not a big deal at all, and here we are now. And of course, I think they're
Well,
even past their
they've been a
prime.
they've been a big deal, and now they crashed.
They've lived
It's
and
kind of
died
a full
in the
cycle.
time that's what we were doing. We were all just shelling out NFTs, if you need to know, and we're all no more rich than we went in.
I think it was a big scam by that Gary V guy because he's the one that kind of like got all the rich people doing it, and then he just dipped.
Yeah, yeah. I Gary V is so fucking funny. This is like far from what we even talk about, but like, I literally watched a video of him like saying how much he hates like real estate and shit. Like I don't know, he was just what his videos are. He was just ripping on real estate, like waste of time. And then I work in like the mortgage industry, and they were sending out invites to this event in Vegas, and they're like, "You have to come to this event. We have Gary V speaking." And I'm
Oh
like,
no,
"Wait a second! I've seen this guy rip on real estate. Why would anyone?" Yeah.
someone
So
didn't do their homework.
yeah. So I mean, I'm sure he cashed in the bag though. That's what he does. That's not what we did while we were gone though. We missed any of our listeners. If you're back, welcome back. We missed you. We love you. Look at you. You look great. To our listener, not to you, Farrell. You're doing a kissy face right now. But yeah, if you're joining us again from the first run of episodes, I guess we're sorry. Yeah, we have not brought you anything for a while, but Daddy made you some content. So here we are. We're ready.
And we're in the video. Hopefully,
We
you
are in
actually
a
get to see.
video. We're gonna see how the quality is. You're gonna still listen, so you might be a Spotify listener, an Apple listener. Hello, I'm happy to be back in your ears. But we are gonna try video. I mean, maybe who knows? This might work. This might not work. It might look like shit, and you'll have no idea that it exists outside of us saying it. But check out our YouTube. Watch along and just search it there, and you might get to see our faces. But yeah, we're happy to be back. I think, needless to say, I think we're gonna get the whole crew back together for like a full episode. This is just really a quick hit. We're halfway through the Kenobi series, of course, on Disney Plus. So we had to roll out the two bigger Star Wars fans, I think, of our group to go ahead
I don't like
and
Star Wars.
okay, yeah. So Keith was busy. He's the second Star Wars fan, and Farrell actually despises everything Star Wars. He is not sitting in a room completely just decorated with Star Wars and did not just show me a $400 lightsaber. Not at all.
I will say, if you ever get a chance to go to Disney World, get the lightsaber and do the experience.
Yeah, you really you're selling the experience to yourself harder than they are. They took your money and they're like, yeah, whatever. And you're
Sponsor
just
me.
like, I swear, you're on the copium, man. You're like, I swear it was a good purchase. I
I
swear
mean,
it
it's
was
been
so
a
worth it.
while. I mean, at this point, I would already regret it. I even ordered the wall mount. I have not put it up yet, but
That's
It's
I
gonna be
know.
litty.
The wall mount's sick. I have one too. I have a different one. I have the NeoPixel, yada yada. But yeah, I bought like the wall mount, and we just moved, so everything is down right now, and that's like the last thing I need to hang up is the lightsaber. Thinking about putting it like right here over my shoulder. That'd be pretty cool. But it might also go in the entryway. So, yeah,
Definitely rearranging my room so that now that we're in a video, there'll be cooler things in the background. Maybe put
yeah,
like a bookshelf and put books on it, like you.
yeah. I got all my Star Wars books, all my fucking political books,
Plus, I'll
all
be
my D and
farther away
D.
from the air conditioner because unfortunately, as Zader usually edits these, and by usually I mean all the time, I have my
Usually,
desk straight up against my air conditioner, like right up against the unit.
I can tell.
So I have to sweat it out until the episode's done.
Anything is better than the cricket. We have that's what happened to
Yeah,
the Green Knight episode. We have a vault. The Green Knight episode, for anyone that would ever want to listen to it, I don't know why you would be that insane. Has a cricket in Farrell's room for 2 hours chirping, and after I begged him to get rid of the cricket, he couldn't find it. He couldn't kill it. And after we're done, he says, "You can edit that out, right?" Yeah, yeah. A cricket that goes off every 2 seconds. Easy 2 hour edit. No problem, Farrell.
but that's the old me. I glowed up now, and I have a perfect recording environment.
Yeah, yeah, it's good, man, and I'm glad to be recording. It's so nice. It is so nice. I'm so happy. I've had all
I
this
know.
shit, and I
I can't
never
wait
let the
till the
dream
whole
die.
band's back together too. That'll be
I know,
nice.
I know.
This is like to tease them, really, like to get them in the mood to listen to
Right,
us, and they'll be like,
right.
I
This
think
is the
Keith even
foreplay.
popped in before we started recording, and
Hmm.
he asked us why he didn't get to record tonight, and I said because you didn't watch the series.
Yeah, he
And he
was
didn't
still ready.
understand
He
why
was.
he couldn't stay.
We almost got a mobile recording of Keith, him just on his cell phone, like
His kid screaming in the background.
Donald Trump Jr. doing a fucking Instagram live. He was gonna tap in from the couch, not seeing it at all. But we have seen it. We've seen these 3 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the new streaming series on Disney Plus, taking my favorite character. I will say my favorite character, Obi-Wan, since I was a child, and giving him a 6 part series. It was going to be a movie at first. They changed it to a 6 part series. And as of now, I guess there shouldn't be anything coming out between now and recording and the episode. But it is the biggest release of a streaming series of all time so far. That is that what you've read as well? That's what I've seen floating around.
Yeah, all the Disney Plus subscribers are there.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, a lot's changed. Like, Toll and I did an episode about, the different streaming services, and a lot has changed in such a short amount of time. Where I think Netflix has died away. I think it's very easy to say that almost everyone has Disney Plus now, like they used to have Netflix, and then HBO is right there with Disney. So it doesn't surprise me at all that this is the biggest release in streaming. Kind of shitty of them to do it the same day as Stranger Things, but they're throwing haymakers.
Yeah, I think Disney's value is just so high, being was it $5.99 plus it being in a package deal with ESPN and Hulu
Yeah,
all the time. I think they're just lowballing. Like they're probably not making any money. I would say
yeah.
they're
Well,
lowballing the crap out of. I'm saying on the streaming service, just profit from streaming service. I bet they're losing money because Netflix has lost money for the whole time it's been alive. The only reason they're around is because stock is so high.
mhm.
But now I think everyone's realizing it's been a good run Netflix, but you're about to stop password sharing, so we gotta let you go.
Yeah, the password sharing is brutal, man. I
Just
wish.
mentioning it crashed their stock. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
people are
yeah.
angry.
Hopefully they. I don't know. I don't.
I think it's over.
I'm
I give
almost
it
like rest
five.
in peace Netflix. I don't really care. We got a few, hopefully a few episodes coming up that will be about Netflix series like Umbrella Academy, Stranger Things. We want to dive back into
Peaky
those.
Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. We're all huge fans of Lock and Key too. So you'll if you're a listener, you're gonna get a good. If you cancel Netflix, that's cool. That's fine. Maybe listen to us. We'll watch those shows for you, and we'll let you know if it's worth it or not. If you're really missing out on not having Netflix, um, but I don't blame you. If you have Disney
Yeah, with
Plus
our
and HBO.
relaunch, we definitely want to be more supportive of kind of giving you guys the water cooler talk about shows and
Mhm.
like giving you the lowdown on what you should be watching, what sucks. So
Yeah,
hopefully we do a better job of that
yeah.
um, going forward.
But Obi
I feel like
Wan
whenever I say going forward, it's like
going
I'm
forward.
in the office right now about
Yeah,
to talking.
yeah. Let's put a pin in that conversation. We'll circle back later on. Um, and right now we're gonna focus on and shine a spotlight on Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi. It's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. How are you feeling about the series so far? We're 3 episodes in. Next Wednesday, the fourth. Every Wednesday they're releasing one. So we're halfway through. What are your feelings? What's the vibe check?
I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling that good about it.
Yeah,
Uh, just the fact that it's mid-season and I'm feeling this way is the scariest part of it. Like I felt like after episode 1 and 2, which I think they released episode 1 and 2 at the same time because episode 1 was so boring that they would have got crucified if they tried to just release that the first episode.
yeah.
But I think after 3, even like the introduction of Darth Vader and seeing him in action, like
I
I
love
want
it.
I
I
should be able,
love that you call it an introduction. Like we,
yeah,
I
the
know it's the
reintroduction.
introduction in the series, but just to think that it's of it as an
You know
introduction is,
what's crazy though is besides the end of episode 3, obviously for us, our age group, which I think a lot of people listening to this probably in the same boat, it is the introduction to us. Like we've never seen him for the first time. We had watched old movies, but that never really felt like how good he should be because it just wasn't with the technology and stuff. So this is like the first time we're seeing him like how he in modern times.
you
And I
sound like
want to
someone that has not watched Rogue One 100 times like me, and also someone that has not watched like Rebels. Like Rebels is really good and has Vader in it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so
I don't know. I had high expectations with Hayden Christensen to come back, and
and
I don't know.
James Earl
I
Jones.
I still have the hope in my heart after the mid-season finale, but I just we'll get into the details, but I just didn't. The vibe is right. I'm nervous. That's the vibe right now for me.
I agree. I completely agree. Or not season three, but episode three made me feel a little bit better because I mean it was all because of Vader. Like he carried the entire episode. But I don't know, man. Like I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love this like portion of the timeline. Like I think it's great in between, the prequels and the originals is like
Mm.
I just feel like there's so much there with like Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and then Rogue One, of course, like I said, is my favorite. So like I love this like little in between section. I'd love to get away from Skywalker, but if we have to be in it, this is where I'd like to be. And I don't know Obi Wan. I'm not really interested. I sway back and forth too because I love seeing him. I love seeing Obi Wan in this like light, similar to like how Luke is in the Last Jedi, which everyone hates, right? They hate this idea of the Jedi being a hermit and like
Yeah,
disconnected. But it makes so much sense. Yoda did the same thing, and now
it's been 10 years.
yeah, he's away from the Force. He's not using it as much. He's obviously not practicing and keeping his skills up, kind of like other Jedi seem to be doing, and running this almost underground railroad like similar like safe houses and things like that. Um, I love it. I like that whole portion. Seeing him go to work on a factory line, go home. Just like this same routine for 10 years, and you're like, man, this is just a broken man. I love seeing that, but then once we get into the story of it, like I hate to say it, but I don't care about the Leia thing. It's like a little forced, and I think from what I'm seeing online, some people love it and are super passionate about it, and some people are not really caring as much. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but concerned is definitely like where I'm at too. I don't, here we are again with, you know, Mando and Grogu, how many times are we going to have father figure,
Yeah,
child? I just, I'm hoping it brings me back. Episode 3 was great. The fight with Vader was great. Vader running the town was great. So things definitely look up, but so far it's been a little bit sleepy.
I think after I watched the third episode, I was obviously distraught. My wife had to calm me down because I was like, "Well, I want to like it. I'm trying so hard to like it. I just can't, even
Mm.
after three." I'm like, "Is this the best?" Like, I know they're gonna fight again. I know it's gonna be better, but I'm like, this introduction with Vader to Obi-Wan after he finds out he's still alive, like, it was very important that it went well. And I just don't think the way it happened was like spectacular enough for me. Like, just him like showing up in the desert, like, oh, there I am. You know, what I mean, it
Really?
wasn't like epic. There wasn't music in the background that I like. You know, it wasn't epic music in the background. It wasn't like this showdown. And then he just like turns around and just runs away, which I'm not like a lot of people I read online are upset that Obi-Wan sucks so bad. I agree they should suck because he hasn't been with the Force and
So
blah blah blah. But
I've
it's
seen I've seen the opposite. I've seen, and I agree that like that is where the writing should be, is that like it's been 10 years, this man is just working on a meat line, and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. He's shut himself off from the Force. He buried the lightsaber. He doesn't, this is not what he's doing. He says it very clearly. I'm not a Jedi anymore. And there's no way between finding out that Anakin Vader is still alive, just picking up, that's the first time he ignites the lightsaber since getting it out of the sand, is right there when they're getting ready to fight. Or I could be wrong there. It might be when he's hiding in the warehouse. Um, you know,
he doesn't. He waits until that time because I was
there
kind of waiting.
there is no fucking shot that he is gonna watch his Padawan, who he killed, to his knowledge, there is no way he's going to try to fight him after watching him run through the town and literally just kill innocent people, dragging them along in the most like brutal way ever.
Yeah,
There's no
because he
shot
knew
that he's
he
going to
knew
try to
doing
fight.
that would get him out. The
Yeah,
Jedi hunt themselves. I like that's one of my favorite lines.
I love that. There's a few like parts where the show is really really good. The explanation of the Force from Obi-Wan to Leia, when he says, "If you've ever been scared of the dark, it feels like when the light comes on, that's how the Force feels." That's awesome. And I mean, I kind of assume like the dark side feels like that fear of
Put it
the
on a
dark.
pillow.
Yeah, put it on a pillow and put it in Hobby Lobby, and Keith is gonna eat that shit up.
Shots fired.
Get him in here.
I do
Um,
have two things after I thought really hard. After I was distraught, there's two things that made me kind of rationalize why I'm not liking it. One, I think Obi-Wan's such a grand character. And I recently watched Tom Cruise in Top Gun. Tom Cruise doesn't go on Netflix or Hulu and perform series shows. He's above that. I think William Neeson said the same thing. He would never come back as Qui-Gon in a series because he thinks that characters
did you
are
say
movie
William
characters.
Neeson? Liam Neeson?
I said Liam Neeson, but maybe I
Oh,
didn't.
I'm gonna run
I
that
meant
back.
Liam Neeson.
You get
But
there's one
anyways,
Ferrelism in episodes, so there it is. William Neeson.
I'm thinking the problem is Obi-Wan's such a grand character that I don't really want to see him doing daily activities. Like,
Mm.
sure, you can show me that he's struggling, but I think the problem is like 3 episodes, I would say two and a half of the episode is him like doing mundane tasks, running from stormtroopers. Like, he's not the spectacular Obi-Wan that we remember. And I'm not saying he has to even be like good, but I'm just saying seeing him, I think it's kind of boring, to be honest.
Yeah, but
This
here,
shows
here, all
to me.
right, all right. Let's talk it out, because I think we're figuring each other's fears out here, and we're gonna press this out, and we're both gonna walk away super excited because he is like that. That is Obi-Wan, right? That's Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan, is this snarky, smart soldier, one of the best Jedi's ever, which is awesome. But then you look at the original Obi-Wan, and he is more of the slow-paced, wise, laid back, Ben. It is Ben. So this is kind of the transition of Obi-Wan to Ben, and we see the PTSD and a broken man, kind of picking up the lightsaber again, and probably going to bring some of that back, and get rid of this PTSD he has from killing the one of the fucking three people he loved. and and you know, coming back to the light, coming back to the Force, and back to being a Jedi. And I'm super super excited to see him. I mean, Liam Neeson's got to come back. He has to. He's talking to Qui Gon. He's got to come back. This is how
His
Obi-Wan.
voice, I can see his voice coming back, but
He's
I
gonna
don't
yeah
see him.
he's gonna be a voice actor. I don't know if the Force Ghost will show up, but this is the time where Obi-Wan learns to project himself as a Force Ghost from Qui-Gon. So I'd love to see that. That's gonna be really cool.
I'm
And I,
hoping I'm hoping he just because he had a couple interviews where he said he wouldn't come back for a series, and I'm hoping he's just throwing people off the scent. Maybe
yeah,
like
yeah.
episode 4, beginning episode 4, if I see Obi-Wan reach out to him, that'll immediately give me hope again. Like if I
Mhm.
see a Force Ghost
Yeah.
of Liam Neeson.
So how we feeling? We've talked about Vader, which of course is a highlight. I can't. I'm so happy James Earl Jones is back, even though he's probably 90 at this point. I'm so glad that we get this. I'm glad that Hayden Christensen is back. Um, the millennials and Zoomers love Hayden Christensen. Kind of pushing out the old Star Wars fans and telling them to fuck off. He was actually, okay in the prequels. Besides the final, his speech was kind of rough. But I'm excited to see them back. How are we feeling about the other villains? How are we feeling about the Inquisitors? And I mean, just at the top, the racism and shit online is absolutely fucking insane. And part of the reason that people think fan bases are so toxic, like Star Wars, like fuck Rick and Morty and shit like that, like toxic fan bases have no space really in like I guess I could call it nerd culture. Like those people can fuck off. That's not what we're here for. How do we feel about the Inquisitors in like a serious way? I'm not saying that you would feel that. I feel like that's I don't see a
Yeah, I
lot
want
of
to be
it.
able to have a negative opinion without being labeled as one of those people that were being,
Yeah,
just not liking someone because of their race. Because that's a very diverse cast in this one. So
and
I
my
think basically everyone is, besides maybe Darth Vader or Obi-Wan, or some diverse
yeah
from another country or something.
yeah. I don't really like. I want to touch it, but like I don't see it. I see like little glimpses of it, and you see like this
Yeah, it's
disgusting
been a big
stuff
deal
come out
because
on like
Ewan
Instagram
McGregor
DMs
actually
and stuff.
came out
Yeah,
and
right.
said like don't do it, and the girl who plays Reva
Reva, yeah,
Reva,
yeah,
yeah, girl who plays her is the one that actually received those threats. So
yeah.
yeah, I don't. I would say that the Inquisitors probably got brought up to me. You mentioned it in Rebels for the first time, um, and then in Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order. They're very big in that video game. So I had high expectations for Inquisitors because they're really cool in both of those. And I would say I did not like the Grand Inquisitor at all. I thought he was boring and obviously got killed off very quick. So maybe it was for nothing that people made a big deal about how he looked and all that.
It obviously was.
Reva, I'm
It obviously was.
50-50. I'm 50-50 on Reva.
Hmm.
I don't know if I like her yet. I don't think she's like being doing bad. I do like that she's trying to suck up to Vader, and like I think Vader's toying her along. I bet he's telling every one of the Inquisitors the same thing, like, "Oh, you helped me find Obi-Wan. I'm gonna
Oh, definitely.
promote you." Yeah,
Yeah.
I th- I think she is one that I'm kind of waiting to see before I make my opinion on. Um, is it? I'm trying to remember the guy with the like samurai style hat.
I don't know that character's name, but yeah, yeah,
He's the
I'll try to find it
is he
for you
number
here.
3?
Yes, yes, I think he's number three. I think he's
Because they're all
Rogue.
basically numbered. That's why
Yeah,
he I
she's
love. I
five.
actually
He's
love
three.
him. I wish they would. They kind of don't really. He's kind of just the dick that like talks back to her whenever she does something.
Hmm.
I wish he would do more, and I want to see him in action. I think he's really cool.
I think he's the fifth brother. I
Fifth
think
brother.
that's his
Okay,
name.
and then
Yeah.
she's the third sister, isn't she?
Yes, she is the third sister, or I believe
Yeah.
so, or the
So
fifth sister, one or the other. I think the
yeah, I
third
think
sister is from the Fallen Order game. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then there's the
one of
12th
those.
sister who's like that huge
Yeah,
whatever species she is.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, I really love the Inquisitors, and I'm kind of disappointed because they didn't get their due time. I think we kind of went to straight to Vader, but like we didn't actually get to see any of them fight like at all.
Yeah, I agree that I really like the Inquisitors. Their lightsabers are really unique, and was something that was really cool during the animated series when they were running. We got introduced to the spinning lightsabers, which is really, really cool. Um, so my issue with like any of the Inquisitors, I have the same issue with them as I have with Leia, and Leia is a child actress, so like obviously there's the challenges there, but she does a great job.
Roaster.
I'm gonna roast her so fucking bad. No, but like sometimes it feels really clunky, like they're writing, and this is where you're humbled as like a near 30-year-old man, and you're reminded that you found your love for Star Wars when you were a child, and this is still very much made for children. So like, I find myself anytime I'm angry with like clunky writing of Riva, which I think there is, and then like clunkiness with like the Leia character. I'm like, oh, what is this? But then I'm like, dude, you're 30 years old and you're watching Star Wars. Like, what are you complaining about?
You're being the people who were mad at the prequels when they were.
Exactly. So then I have to scale back and realize like I'm like my daughter is watching this too. Like she's enjoying it and it's for everyone at the table. You know what I mean? So that's the only like issue I could ever possibly see myself with the Inquisitors is like sometimes the writing is a little weird and it's a little corny and like when she's running across rooftops she does like an unnecessary backflip. But that's just it's just flashy and it's just cool shit for it's just cool shit for the show. So that's my only like complaint with them, and I think that's mostly like myself just being a snobby, almost 30-year-old watching a children's show.
Yeah, I don't think the writing for her has been the best.
Yeah,
Like, I think she's a cool character. It's not the actress' fault, but it's more the writing was some of the lines she says. I can't pull one out of my head for example. It's just kind of like you said, a little cheesy.
yeah,
But
more cheesy than Star Wars typically is, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
It's a kids show, so we're just being
I think
little
I said it
babies.
before. I think off mic, I just the camera angles for like a series show versus like a grand epic movie, like everything zoomed in and a little more CGI feeling. Like I was telling you, like we're in the same world as Mandalorian, but I feel like it's not as I don't feel the world. You know what I mean? It's not as beautiful to me as Mando is. But I think that's like we talked about Mando having a set built for it
Yeah.
and making sure that it felt realistic. Versus this is more focused on the Obi-Wan Darth Vader thing.
So the joke I made was CW presents Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is like
Yeah,
sometimes it really truly feels like a CW show and it is of no part of any like acting or anything like that. I think I've determined in my head and my logic of not being a professional that it is something about the set. It's something about the set. Like
small.
the
The
Darth
set has to be small or
the
something.
Darth Vader scene felt really good because I could almost tell it had to be some sort of practical effects. Like they had to be like maybe who knows maybe they were even fucking outside. That's my problem is like Mandalorian is cool. It has this cool dome that it's filmed in, and now Disney is doing this thing where everything they do is in the dome, and sometimes it's not great. Like when they filmed Spider-Man: No Way Home, and the very popular cemetery scene that everyone rips on is like it's not difficult to go outside and film that scene, but you can
Yeah,
clearly tell that they're in front of a screen. I felt that when they were, for example, I think it's either episode 1 or 2. Inquisitors are at the cantina hunting the Jedi, talking to the bartender. Like when they're talking to each other, it is completely silent. There's no background noise. Everything in the back's out of like it doesn't feel like you're there. It doesn't you don't have that immersion like you do in like a movie, like you said. It feels like a TV show, which it is. But it feels like a CW TV show. It takes me out of the Star Wars universe. I feel like what I'm typically used to, and puts me
I
into
just feel
like
like I haven't seen all of Obi-Wan's body at once. Like I feel like I'm on his face or in
okay,
like
you
the
want to
upper half.
see, yeah, hey,
And I even when the Darth Vader fight scene, like Vader's like a six. He's supposed to be like a 6'6", like huge dude. And I don't feel like even when he was fighting Obi-Wan, I didn't feel the size difference because we were the way that the angle was going up,
mm-hmm,
so it wasn't. It was you couldn't tell. Like I thought that should have been a down angle. Like
yeah,
I am no camera expert whatsoever, but I'm just saying, like, for me, if you think back to like the prequels and even, I mean, the old movies are kind of relevant because that's just the way the style was back then. But everything's zoomed out and you can see the fighting very clearly. But
Hmm.
this, it feels like they're just so personal. It might just be the director's choice of how she likes to do it.
It definitely is. I
And
haven't watched enough. What's her name? Is it
she
Deborah
did
Cho?
Eternals,
Did she?
yeah,
Eternals
and
was
then
Eternals was
she did
good.
another
Like, all
Marvel
right.
movie.
Hmm.
She's more. She is known for more because her big claim to fame was indie movies.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say most indie movies I've watched are very like emotional as far as like zoomed in on the face and like getting the emotions of the actors and stuff like that.
Yeah, but usually the cinematography in like an indie movie is going to be 10 times better than like like an action, quick
Yeah,
quick cut
but do they?
zooms
Does
kind
she
of
know
thing.
that Darth Vader can't show emotion?
I trust. I haven't seen Filoni credited at all on this, which is our Lord and
I
Savior
think this is the
Dave
problem.
Filoni. I haven't seen him credited, which is concerning. He's
I
he's
think
our
this
he's
is
our
the CEO of
encyclopedia.
Disney. What's her name?
Kathleen,
This is her project, and I think it was started before Filoni.
you're
And
like the online
yeah,
haters, man, that go after
I am. I
Kathleen.
dug
Yeah,
too deep. I
yeah.
dug too deep. I let out my concern about uh her last name's Cho, right? The director.
I believe so.
I let
Yeah,
out my
I know the
concern
first name's
about
Deborah.
her because
Debbie.
it was before Eternals and another big movie she had done. She had no like credits that were like more than an indie film, and I was like, oh, this is like one of the biggest opportunities. Like you're gonna hire someone that's not done anything this big and like
Yeah,
like a fantasy setting. But I don't blame her yet. I'm like I said, I'm down. The vibe's nervous.
yeah.
It's not it's not
Nervous.
bad yet.
So, but the thing is, we ended episode 3. I feel like
High note.
on a high note. We're
Yeah, that
riding
whole
a
like
high
trying to
right
burn
now.
Obi-Wan. I was like, yes,
Yeah,
burn him.
yeah.
I was actually on Darth Vader's side there. Like, I love Obi-Wan, but I'm like, you did burn him, and then you could have just finished him off. That was kind of a
Brutal,
dick
man.
move.
I love the scope that they have put onto Darth Vader as brutal, which is what he is. Like they have made him scary as fuck, and that's what he was. The Rogue One scene, everyone just num 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 num. Give me more of Darth Vader in Rogue One, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
making him fucking scary and brutal and snapping necks, and I love it. I love it.
Also, for those people out there saying he was slow fighting, he was toying with him. Like, you got to know that.
So, yeah, I mean, I have,
He's not gonna kill Obi-Wan. He's gonna mess with him. He even said, it's just the pain has just begun.
so here's like a little clip from on like a post online, Jedi Apple Gist. I don't. This is a weird username. I don't know.
They're trying to get you to say something bad, I think.
Maybe, but
Jedi
so
Apple Jizz.
so they, they say Obi-Wan just running when he sees Vader, and Vader not being able to run after him is so funny. It also makes sense. Vader's physical capabilities have diminished to the point where he can't even run; he can just walk. He's not fast. He's a tank. He fights like one too. He hammers at Obi-Wan with his lightsaber instead of doing any cool prequel level acrobatics or moves. It's one-handed. He uses the Force to knock things and drag people around. He uses the Force to overpower Obi-Wan. He's basically a husk of a man being kept alive in a suit by the dark side of the Force. The show displayed that perfectly. I saw that and I was like, this is exactly how I feel. Is that
Oh yeah,
he is power. That is what he is. He
yeah.
is no
Force is his
longer
greatest
Anakin.
ability now.
Yeah, there is no Darth Vader's not doing any front flips. He is not Darth Maul. He is a robotic man that is extremely powerful with the Force, and that is what he's going to use. He is going to use his power of his fucking Iron Man 2.0 robot suit and the Force. And seeing him Force choke Obi-Wan, that's Big Daddy move.
Yeah, I think he was toying with. Well, obviously, when Obi-Wan ran away, like if he wanted to, he could have force grabbed him and just thrown him back.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like, well, I'm not killing you the first time. I mean,
Oh,
I'll
he's
let you.
definitely he is what he made him, which was a great quote. I am what you made me, and that's exactly what he senses him in the building. He knows he's there, and he decides to go on a killing spree and says, "Fine, I'll
There's
kill
also
this.
a
I'll kill this
theory
whole
that
town."
maybe the light side let him get away.
You think so?
There's a theory that that happened.
What do you think about that theory?
I don't like it, but
I don't like
just
it
a
either.
theory.
I hate that theory.
I didn't like how he got away. Like, I feel like he would have grabbed him with the force. Like, you wouldn't let him go that easy. But I wish
Yeah,
something like more catastrophic would have happened between them that kept Vader like from.
overarching really funny thing I've noticed is apparently in this universe of Star Wars, they absolutely refuse to go around anything. He was not going around this wall of fire that he could have. I mean, it's Vader. He could go over or
You could just fly
around
over it
this wall of fire.
or
That can
force flame
you know
extinguish the flame.
something can happen, and he can go around it. Bottom line is he can go. You can walk around it. This fire is only so long. I'm gonna back out, walk around. We're good. Um, the, the other time this happens is at the laser gate when they're in the truck. Is like there's even an overhead view after the stormtroopers are dead that it's overhead and it's showing this gate blocking, and there's very
My
clearly
wife
is like,
literally said it. She said, "Why didn't I go around?" I was
why
like,
don't they go around? And then they break the gate, and then they don't even get in the truck, so it's not like they can say, well, we wanted to take the truck through. They just walk through the gate as they could have walked around the gate, and it's just,
"It's the
you know,
beauty of Star Wars.
yeah, the goofy
It's
things.
not.
It's
It's
like
not
the
good."
stormtrooper hitting his head on the gate when he's running in New Hope.
Yeah, they also the voices of the stormtroopers too are kind of different than usual. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
usually they've all been this back, say, like a lot more computer generated,
yeah,
like way more on the auto tune. But now you actually hear the individual people's voice, and I think it's kind of cool because it gives them
yeah.
like basically proving that they're not clones anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing about the sequels is, Finn being an individual as a stormtrooper and kind of
Yeah,
showing that they can break away, and then bringing in all the other stormtroopers that had defected, deflected, whatever. Yeah, that was really cool. And we got, God damn, I can't. I want to say Rex, but it's not Rex. But we got a clone trooper,
yeah, that
um,
was cool.
for a
Well,
veteran. Yeah,
sad but cool.
it was sad, yeah, but getting the actor to play this old veteran was
Maybe his
was really
chip's
neat.
broken and he's gonna help them later.
Maybe, maybe. Yeah, man. That's
Good.
I think we're running around 40 minutes, which is probably where we wanted to keep it. Is there anything that you wanted to final notes you want to hit?
I feel like talking through this has really helped me give me more hope
This is a
for the
safe
next.
space. It's a safe space.
Talking through it makes me feel better that someone else feels the same and like we have hope that they'll finish out strong.
Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Maybe Darth Vader will die this time.
Yeah, that's what
That was
I
my second
do.
thing. I never got to the second part of the whole thing. The second part is we know exactly what happens.
Yeah.
So you have to be pretty good
Well, that's
writing to not suck that way. It's like
that's
Rogue
the
One was amazing because of that situation.
Yeah, that's the fun of watching this with my 6-year-old is I have to constantly remind her that she's like, "Oh no, what's gonna happen to Obi-Wan?" I'm like, "We
Bet she
know
lives.
we know what happens, remember? Because we've watched the other one." She's like,
Just
"Oh
better
yeah,
believe it.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah." She's into it, man. She likes it, but episode 3 got a little dark. I was like, maybe
I
this
don't
isn't
remember
a
Obi-Wan
show.
have any facial burning scars.
Yeah, he's burning, Dad.
I wonder if there's gonna be a because I mean, man, he's so bad at fighting right now. I've had a hard time believing that we're gonna have a good fight scene like between him and Vader. Like where Vader's
uh,
just not.
he could
But
probably
I'm
turn it
thinking
on.
maybe. I mean, there's always everyone saying that he still looks a little too young for how where he is. Like
That's stupid too. That's stupid
maybe
too.
they'll do a 4 years later thing. Like the next time they meet is like down the road a little bit, and
Oh,
he's
that would be
back.
cool.
Like he goes on a training spree in episode 4, and
Yeah.
I gotta beat Anakin.
I
I'm
do
just waiting
hope
for the part. This will happen. Mark my words. Anakin's mask, just like in I think Rebels that it was, will get cut, and you'll see like
Anakin.
and you'll see Hayden Christensen's like prosthetic face, basically,
Yeah.
a Bert.
Could you imagine the
That will happen.
theaters, or like what a theater reaction would be when you saw Hayden Christensen in the field in episode 3 when he was like standing in his robe in the field, and Obi-Wan saw him. The
I'm sort of
theater would
surprised
have
they didn't make it a
blown
movie.
up. I you know I I wouldn't have complained. I think we'll see. We'll see if they needed the show. We will talk about this again. We're gonna see how it plays out. We promise it's not a Bad Batch situation where I don't think either of us finished the show. I certainly
Season 2's coming out.
did not finish the show. Um, just wasn't into it. I will finish this show, and we will be back. Who knows? Maybe we can pick up someone else that's not as big of a Star Wars fan. Keith can join us, or maybe Toll, and give even less of a biased opinion of the show overall. Maybe they'll hate it, and then we can feel pretty good about not being crazy about it, because I feel pretty guilty as a Star Wars fan. I feel pretty guilty. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like at the beginning of our next show, where we're doing the last three, the finale, I'm gonna quote Darth Vader. I lied.
I lied. I love
I thought you
it.
said you hated it.
No, I lied. I love it. It's great.
The greatest stuff.
This is the best show. Listen, this is the best show ever fucking made. Yeah. Well, until that time, we'll keep an eye on it. It's on Wednesdays on Disney Plus. Everyone knows that, I hope. Huge release. Nice fun time. Nice little middle of the week treat for you guys. Speaking of another treat, we do once again plan on getting the band back together. Everyone is going to be joining us for an episode. Farrell, can you tease me at least on what I should be watching? What our next episode is going to be about? What our first episode back?
Next episode is going to be what we call a session 0 in the super nerd world, which is reintroduction of the characters. We're going to talk about how our lives have been. And we're gonna do what we watched since the last episode. So since Dune, there's been a lot of shit you probably watched, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna compile our lists. We're gonna compare, and we're gonna try to talk, briefly about some of the top highlights of what happened since we were there.
For sure.
And then from there, we'll definitely start kind of having a teaser schedule for you guys. That way, you can watch along with us.
Boom.
What we're gonna talk about in the next couple shows, but definitely want to get back to doing some of the rankings and games and segments that I think our poll said top rankings was one of the favorite things we do. So
yeah, and we're gonna try, of course, hopefully you're watching the video or the video is available. That's something we want to do. Maybe get back into some streams, do some tier lists. We're back in a big way. We promise. We've said it before. We lied, but we're back again.
I lied.
Here we are. We're busy people. We got lives. We got families. But we're back now, and we love you. I'm so glad that we're back. I'm so glad that people are listening. I'm looking directly into the camera. You watching or listening. I'm glad you're here. I can't wait to get everyone back together. Make sure if you want to follow us over on Twitter, it's at WatchAlongman. You can follow us there. You check out our Facebook if you use that. I literally don't know anyone that uses that. Follow us on
No one uses it.
subscribe to us on YouTube, Watch Along and Podcast. You'll find us there. You can yell at us, yell at us for being gone. That's fine with me. That's cool. We need it. We need to be held accountable. We really do.
Rumor is there's a TikTok in the works.
There's a we're back in a big way. TikTok, find us on TikTok. We're already over there. We're gonna start making videos because we're Zoomers just like you kids. We promise. And Twitch, Watch Alongman, pretty much everywhere. Search Watch Alongman wherever you're at. You will find us. Let us know what you want to watch with us. Let us know what you've been watching. Interact. That's why we're here. That's what we want to do. We want to watch it with you. Until next time, I'm Chris.
We want to watch you.
And we want to watch you. And Cody here with me. He wants to watch you. And we'll watch you next time.
May the force be with you.
And also with you.